Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the President and CEO, Dean, and faculty and staff, I hereby declare this 38th commencement exercise of Morehouse School of Medicine are now in session. Please rise and remain standing for the procession of the platform party. I now present to you our platform party led by the President and CEO of Morehouse School of Medicine, Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice. Please take your seats and welcome the processional. And remain seated throughout the processional so that we can see the graduates without obstruction. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Morehouse School of Medicine, class of 2022. Graduates and distinguished members of the platform party, you may be seated. Morehouse School of Medicine was founded in 1975 with a bold mission to address the physician shortage in Georgia, to diversify the physician and scientific workforces, to advance primary care, and to work towards elimination of health disparities through programs in education, research, and service. That bold mission started on the campus of Morehouse College, largely because of individuals like College President Emeritus, Dr. Hugh M. Gloucester. Each commencement, our platform party, faculty, guests, and graduates process from the Morehouse School of Medicine to the Martin Luther King Jr. Chapel, located on the Morehouse College. Along the way, they pause at the memorial graveside of Dr. Hugh M. Gloucester for a moment of reflection. We will honor that tradition here today. Please join me as President and CEO Montgomery Rice honors Dr. Hugh M. Gloucester.
We are honored to continue our tradition of recognizing one of our founders, Dr. Hugh M. Gloucester. We traditionally pause at his memorial gravesite, lay a wreath, and observe a moment of silence. The seventh president of Morehouse College, Dr. Hugh M. Gloucester, served the college from 1967 to 1987. Along with being instrumental to the founding of Morehouse School of Medicine, he led a laudable career at Morehouse College, where he increased the number of majors in the Department of Business, doubled student enrollment in faculty, and quadrupled the college endowment to $20 million, and overall raised more than $100 million for the college. he dedicated his life's work to educating the next generation of leaders. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor the life and legacy of Dr. Hugh M. Gloster. Thank you.
At this time, I ask the school's chaplain, Dr. Marvin Crawford, to come and give the invocation.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. Those who want to be reverent, you may remove your hats if you are led to do so. On this day, I remember, and we must remember, our brothers and sisters up in Buffalo who had a bad tragedy recently at the hands of a young, sick man. Let us bow briefly to remember those families and those persons who are no longer in our midst. Amen. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and of a sound mind. So God, on this day, we come to this 38th commencement of the Morehouse School of Medicine. We come in your presence in the spirit of power, love, and sound minds. We express our thanksgiving to you, Lord, who made this day possible. God, who kept these learners for this moment to receive these degrees, to practice their crafts, to close the healthcare equity gap. We give you thanks, God, for bringing these learners through some tough nights and some hard days. But we thank you, God, that even when they were weak, they found within themselves the power to wait on you, that you may renew their strength, give them wings of eagles, that they will run and not grow weary, that they will walk and not faint. We give you thanks. We give you thanks for families and friends who have given so much, prayed so hard, and hoped for this day. We give you thanks for the ancestors who have gone on before, who are now part of the great crowd of witnesses, and who are speaking now from the balconies of eternity and saying, I'm glad to see this day. Bless now, God, the faculty and staff, who are the exemplars of excellence and exemplars of compassion and exemplars of competence. Bless now this institution leadership that you inculcated in the presence of Dr. Valerie Montgomery Rice. Forgive us, God, if any way along that we have forgotten to keep our vision. Our vision, God, that we would create and advance health equity for all people. Forgive us, God, then restore us and give us and make us our best self to make real health care equity for all people. Come now, God, with your healing presence. Come now, God, with your celebrating presence, that we, God, on this day may fear you and also on this day may celebrate what you have done. In your name we do pray. Everybody say, amen. Now we will have the national anthem and also the national hymn of African Americans in this country. Lift every voice and sing. They are found on page 27 and 28 in your bulletin.
Everyone, please stand. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
It's my distinct pleasure to bring to the podium the presiding officer for today's ceremony, President and CEO of Morehouse School of Medicine, Dr. Montgomery Rice.
You may be seated. Good morning. Welcome to the 38th Commencement exercises of Morehouse School of Medicine. Succeeding 2 years of restrictions due to the pandemic, I am happy to be here in person. I am happy to be here with each of you. If you are happy, clap your hands, clap your hands. If you too are happy. We have done the work and we are continuing to do the work as a collective community to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. And it is for that reason that we can all be here today. So thank you for doing your part. Thank you for adhering to our protocols and our procedures so that you could be here today to celebrate your loved ones. There's really no better place for us to return to, because this is where we started, at Morehouse College, in a little trailer, or maybe it's a modular business unit, I don't know. But 45 years ago or so, we were a medical education program, thanks to the vision of Dr. Lewis Sullivan and Dr. Hugh Gloucester, and the men and women of 93 African-American physicians who were caring for about 7-8% of the black population in the state of Georgia. See, they had a vision for what's happening for you today. Look around, class of 2022. This is your special day, and you have earned it. This is the day that you and your family and your community and your friends have longed to see. It is a day that has made all the sacrifices worthwhile. God bless you and congratulations. Now, as I look out into this audience, I see the faces. I see the faces of proud parents, spouses, partners, friends, and family members. I see dreams fulfilled and hopes realized. All of you have taken this journey with our students, providing them with moral and financial support along the way. And I know that today's graduation is a momentous occasion for each of you. So congratulations to you, because you too have earned this. In fact, graduates, if you will, please stand and turn toward the audience and join us in thanking them for their unyielding support of you, your goals, and your dreams. I will now take the time to make a few acknowledgments. Thank you, graduates. And in order to move the program along, I will introduce individually only those on the stage seated in the first row. All others on the stage and those seated in the audience that want to be acknowledged, I will ask you to stand as a group. So starting on the first row from my far right, I believe, Dr. Rita Finley, an Associate Dean for Educational Outreach, Health Careers Director, and the Master of Science and Medical Science degree, and an Associate Professor in the Department of Pathology. Dr. Kenny Shepard, the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs and Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. Dr. Franklin Geary, the Associate Dean of Admissions. Dr. Cinnamon Bradley, Associate Dean for Admissions and Student Affairs. Dr. Sandra Harris-Hooker, Dean for Research and Academic Administration. Dr. Danita Inkman Daniels, Assistant Dean, Graduate Education and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Marty Eltz, Senior Associate Dean of Educational Affairs. Our Dean, Dr. Joseph Tyndall, Executive Vice President and Dean. Mr. Art Collins, Chairman of the Board of the Morehouse School of Medicine. And now to my far left, Dr. Marvin Crawford, Morehouse School of Medicine Chaplain and Associate Professor of Clinical Medicine. Dr. Michael Powell, Professor of Microbiology, Biochemistry, and Immunology, who is serving as today's Grand Marshal. Also participating in today's ceremony are several of our board members. Mrs. Lisa LaQuint-Cephas, Morehouse School of Medicine Trustee. Dr. Thomas Malone, Morehouse School of Medicine Trustee. Dr. Camille Davis-Williams, Morehouse School of Medicine Trustee. Dr. Rose Blackburn, President of the Morehouse School of Medicine National Alumni Association and Morehouse School of Medicine Trustee. Ms. Susan Grant, Vice Chair, Morehouse School of Medicine, and of course, our today's commencement speaker, Mr. Lloyd Dean, the CEO of Common Spirit Health. You all may be seated, thank you. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the true backbone of Morehouse School of Medicine, the members of our outstanding faculty. Faculty, would you please stand and be recognized? All of you, please. Thank you for the continued commitment to our students and to our distinctive mission. Today, we have graduates who have joined us from our illustrious alumni, dedicated professionals who are committed to advancing health equity across the globe. Today, we are celebrating several classes, so if I call out your class number, please stand to be recognized. We're celebrating today the class of 1987, 1992, 1997, 2002, 2007, 2012, and 2017. Would all of our alumni please stand and be recognized? We are so excited because the class of 1987 established a $50,000 endowed scholarship. Congratulations and thank you. And this alumni class has also, all of the classes combined have already contributed over $90,000 towards scholarships for this year alone. Thank you so much. I would also like to give a special welcome to the family and colleagues of our commencement speaker, of Mr. Lloyd Dean. Would Mr. Wade Dean stand, the brother of Lloyd Dean? If you are here, please, thank you. Miss Angela Dean, the sister. Miss Alicia Dean Weathersby and Ashley Dean Weathersby, the nieces. And all of the colleagues and friends who are here to support Mr. Dean, would you please stand? We are so excited that you have joined us today. Now, I know that there's somebody out in the audience who is of significance that I have forgotten. So if you are of significance and I have forgotten to call your name, please stand so we can recognize you. Okay, I see you. I see you. Just stand and we will clap. We don't know your name, but we know that because you are here, you are special. You are special indeed. It is now my privilege to introduce the chairman of the Board of Trustees for Morehouse School of Medicine, Mr. Art Collins, who will bring greetings on behalf of the board, please. Thank you.
Good morning. Oh, y'all can do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. We are here on this beautiful occasion because our God willed it so. Amen. To President and CEO Dr. Montgomery Rice, my fellow trustees, distinguished platform guests, alumni, faculty, administrators, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2022. I am very honored to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Commencement exercises are a special time for the board because we're able to witness the results of the hard work we do to support the students here at the Morehouse School of Medicine. This institution continues to train outstanding physicians, biomedical scientists, and public health professionals who are destined for greatness and changing the world as we see it. We are immensely proud of your accomplishments. We are certain that you will be extraordinary practitioners, researchers, and change makers. You will continue to have our utmost support as you bring your hearts, body, and soul to your work to the underserved in our communities. Know that you are forever part of our illustrious family here at MSM. And now, Madam President, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Morehouse School of Medicine, I hereby authorize you to confer degrees in course upon candidates who have qualified in all respects for Master of Public Health, Executive Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Biomedical Research, Master of Science in Clinical Research, Master of Science in Medical Sciences, Master of Science in Neuroscience, Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences, and last but not least, Doctor of Medicine. Also, on behalf of my fellow trustees, I hereby authorize you to confer Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters degree upon the individual whose exemplary achievements qualifies him to receive such recognition from this great school. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from the President of the Student Government Association, soon to be Dr. Katie Piegler.
Thank you, Dr. Montgomery Rice, for the introduction and your continued leadership in advancing our institution. Good morning, Board of Trustees, President and CEO, Dr. Montgomery Rice, Dean Tyndall, faculty, staff, alumni, distinguished guests, families, and friends. My name is Katie Piegler, and I'm a graduating medical student. And I will begin residency in OBGYN in July, right here at MSM. To the Morehouse School of Medicine, class of 2022, congratulations, we made it. It has truly been an honor to serve as your 2021-2022 Student Government Association President. To my executive board, faculty, and staff mentors, thank you for all that you've done to help advocate on behalf of our student body. This year could not have gone as smoothly without your support. When looking back on our time here at Morehouse School of Medicine these past 4 years or more, I'm reminded of how much we've all grown since stepping foot on campus for our very first day of orientation. For many of us, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. Long days that turned into nights in the library, 200-slide PowerPoint lectures, exam weeks, family events that we had to miss out on, online classes, hybrid classes, board exams during the COVID-19 pandemic, family tragedies, breakups, and other personal losses, but also births, engagements, and weddings. We've experienced it all while still showing up each day and putting forth our best selves. And I'm so, so very proud of us. But do you know what else comes to mind when thinking about our time here at MSM? In just a few moments, we are about to become alumni of the best HBCU medical school, the Morehouse School of Medicine. Whether or not the next step for you is medical school, a postdoctoral fellowship, the public health sector, residency, or unknown at this time, you are ready. You are more than prepared. Robert Louis Stevenson once said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." Our very own MSM Board of Trustee member, Georgia State Representative, and soon to be U.S. Ambassador to the Bahamas, the Honorable Calvin Smiley said it even better. Plant seeds to trees for the shade you may never see. These two quotes are eloquent and fit for the occasion, but what does it really mean? What does figurative planting seeds look like as we enter into this next phase on our journeys in lifelong learning? Here's what it may look like. Being an agent of positive social change, to quote our beloved mental health champion, Dr. Garrison. Advocating on behalf of our communities to mentor youth and young adults who aspire to follow in our footsteps. Serving our communities, boots on the ground, to provide help to the underserved. Using our voices to amplify the voices of minorities who often go unheard and ignored. The opportunities to plant seeds are endless, and Morehouse School of Medicine has provided us with the gardening tools to plant these seeds. So now we have the tool and the seeds, but what drives us to plant these seeds? In other words, what is your why? For me, my why is my family. And to be even more specific, my why is Granny Matilda. Matilda Mullins was my great-great-grandmother, who I never had the pleasure of meeting. She was a midwife in rural South Alabama who walked dirt roads to successfully deliver many babies, despite the many difficulties of being a Black woman during the Jim Crow era. So when I hold her medical bag, read her birth notes, listen to stories of delivering aunts, uncles, and cousins, I think of all she had to endure to live out her purpose each day. I think of my journey as a first-generation medical student from the east side of Atlanta, Georgia, who had local role models such as Dr. Camille Davis Williams, who delivered me, and Dr. Runette Flowers, who served as my pediatrician. I think of how their very present, supportive words and interest in my well-being became infused with my why. And I got a bit emotional when I realized that the groundbreaking for the new building we have on campus, the Calvin Smiley Educational Conference Center, I was standing there with the OBGYN who delivered me as a preemie. I think of the vulnerable, underserved communities in Atlanta, where I now have the chance to continue to pour into as an OBGYN resident here at Morehouse School of Medicine. And lastly, I think about the next generation of healthcare professionals and how I can mentor and advocate on behalf of so that they can have even better opportunities than I had. Today, our why, which is our motivation, has become our how, fueled by our preparation. So my question to you all is, What seeds will you plant to help lead the creation and advancement of health equity? And one last time for my MD class of 2022, we have a chant that we always say. You all can join in. 2-2. 2-2. Thank you.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Oliver and the Glee Club. Thank you all for always staying over when our graduations don't fall on the same weekend. to support us. We appreciate this. And thank you, soon-to-be Dr. Katie Peeler, for those wonderful words. I know what it means to have a Camille Davis Williams to be your mentor for, I did my first hysterectomies and C-sections with her when I was an intern and a second-year resident at Grady. So thank you, Dr. Camille Davis Williams, for all that you have continued to do for us. I actually tried to say to Katie, since she has spent all of her life in Atlanta, that perhaps she wanted to spread her wings and go somewhere else for residency. And she assured me that if she was selected here, that this was the right place. And hearing your story, I understand why. Your great-great-grandmother would be proud. Thank you. Our goal at Morehouse School of Medicine has always been that 100% of our graduating seniors receive some level of scholarship support. So now yesterday you did get your frame. Did you like your frame that you're getting, right? Due to the generosity of the Bloomberg philanthropies, 63% of our graduates are Bloomberg recipients, receiving up to $100,000 toward their MSM educational debt. If you're a Bloomberg recipient, please stand and be recognized. We thank Mayor Bloomberg for the gift that he provided to our students. You can be seated, please. I am excited to announce the presidential class gift for the graduating class of 2022. We will be awarding scholarships to the remaining seniors who have not been awarded scholarships and grants. Several have received some, but it's always never enough. Over the time of their matriculation, this class of all the programs have received over $8.4 million in scholarship. And we are happy to add to this amount today an additional $1.2 million that will further assist in lowering student indebtedness. Now, what that means for eligible graduating seniors who have not already received full tuition and fee waivers or existing direct loan debt reduction scholarships, you will receive no less than $2,200 per student. Some students will receive more. And the reason for the range is we've had this commitment that no student would graduate from Morehouse School of Medicine with more than $250,000 of debt. And we are happy to announce for the first time that there will not be a student who graduates from Morehouse School of Medicine this year with more than $250,000 of debt. In fact, the average amount of debt for the MD students will only be, I shouldn't say only, but it will be $192,000. For the MPH students, because of the range of scholarships we will award, no MPH student will graduate with more than $66,000 of debt. And for the JEB students, no more than $76,000 of debt. So do the math, and you can figure out how much your scholarship will be. I am so excited that our teams have worked hard. The community has been generous to us. We have done the work on your behalf to ensure that we continue to support debt reduction. Please join me in congratulating these students on these new financial rewards and thanking our donors, our faculty, and our staff who've worked to make sure that this is possible. It is now my great honor to present to you our keynote speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Lloyd Dean. Mr. Lloyd Dean has demonstrated a consistent pursuit of equity for underserved and marginalized populations. As the CEO of Common Spirit Health, a nonprofit health system with 140 hospitals, and more than 1,000 care sites that span 21 states. Mr. Dean has dedicated his career to advocating for underserved communities and addressing the racial injustices that are often the root cause of health inequities. He is attributed as saying that he envisions a healthcare system that uses innovative partnerships, modern technology, and human kindness to ensure individuals and families live a healthier future. Under his leadership, Common Spirit Health has flourished to become one of the nation's largest not-for-profit healthcare companies. Mr. Dean served as previously the CEO of Dignity Health, which he was instrumental in expanding to encompass more than 400 care centers and 41 hospitals. He then shepherded the $29 billion merger between Dignity Health and Catholic Health Initiatives, forming Common Spirit Health. Throughout his career leading both organizations, he placed an emphasis on building healthy, strong communities and providing exceptional service to those who are most vulnerable. A dedicated champion of health equity, he has served on numerous federal and state advisory panels, supported various charity organizations, and led national discussions around the social determinants of health, racial injustice, and advancing health equity. He serves as the chair of the California Future Health Workforce Commission. In addition, Governor Gavin Newsom of California appointed Mr. Lloyd Dean to the state's task force on business and jobs recoveries, whose charge is to help the state recover from the COVID-19 crisis. And most notably, Mr. Dean's laser focus on diversifying the healthcare workforce helped us to launch the More in Common Alliance, a partnership between Morehouse School of Medicine and Common Spirit Health aimed at addressing the underlying causes of health inequity. This $115 million or more historic partnership will train the next generation of culturally competent providers and transform care delivery across the country. Over the next 10 years, the More in Common Alliance will establish regional medical sites in underserved areas and create graduate medical education programs in the markets with Common Spirit Health facilities. This will increase the undergraduate medical education enrollment at Morehouse School of Medicine to 225 students and triple the number of residency training slots. To demonstrate the commitment and vision of Morehouse School of Medicine under the guidance of Mr. Dean, this investment is already underway. Because of his steadfast commitment to racial justice, advancing social equity, and providing quality and equitable health care to all Americans, we ask him to serve as this year's 38th Commencement speaker. Mr. Dean.
Let me just begin by saying it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with all of you. I want to thank President Montgomery Rice, Board Chair Collins, Vice Chair Susan Grant, trustees, faculty, guests, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2022 from the Morehouse School of Medicine. I have to tell you, while the procession was coming in, some of you may have seen that I was smiling. I'll tell you a quick story about why I was smiling when you were walking in. The last commencement exercise that I attended was in 2018, right before the COVID pandemic hit us. And this was held in Los Angeles. And it was on a really, really hot day. But that class of 2018 decided that they were going to have a class party the night before on the Santa Monica beach. Suffice to say, that party ended up making national news. But that's not the story. The story is that they did recover from that, and then the procession, and that's why I was watching you. There were a few people that weren't walking so solidly, but they did make it to their seat. But there was one gentleman, and all of the parents and friends and guests will know this. Many of you got here really early to make sure that you could see your son or your daughter. And they had a special section over here for the parents. And a friend of mine's son was part of the class, and they got almost in the front row. Well, because of the son, it took a while to get through 250 graduates, naming them individually. But their son's name got called. He got up, he made it to the first step, and his sister said, "Go, John, go, John." He turned around, looked at his sister sitting with his parents, and fell out completely, completely. But that's only part of the story, because I'm sitting with his parents. His parents looked like and behaved like, oh, wouldn't that be terrible if that was my son? It was their son. They just let somebody take them out and eventually brought him back in. So as all of you were coming in, I watched you very carefully. And to the parents and friends, you can be very proud. They walked with pride, and they made it in comfortably. Let me just say how proud and honored I am to be here with each and every one of you today. I can think of no greater honor than to be here on this sacred ground with you on this day and at this time in the history of our country. I want to thank you for opening the door and welcoming me to be a part of your journey today and allowing me to share some words. Now, I know it's hot. I've seen one lady, she's been fanning since we started. So I'm going to be very, very judicious with my words, but I would like to share the following with you. With all of the hard work that each and every one of you have done to earn this place, to be here at this graduation on this day, I think marks a special chapter that will be chronicled in your life. You are closing one door, but I submit to you that you are opening another. This door is a big door because you are leaving this comfortable institution and you are now about to step through another door out into another part of the world. It is a great door that is being held wide open for you to walk through. Holding the door open for you and helping you get to the door are so many people. You know there are so many people in your lives that have helped and are in a special way responsible for you sitting there. The mentors who encouraged you along the way and maybe even helped spark the idea that you too could be the person who, through medicine, changes the world, impacts community, and brings care to those so in need. Family members and friends who didn't see you much because you elected to commit yourself to your studies. And yes, your faculty who spent countless hours helping you discover yourselves, the differences between science and your textbook, and the healing art that your patients, that you will ultimately see, so willingly deserve. They all open doors for you. On the other side of the door in front of you now, there are legions of physicians, including many Morehouse School of Medicine alumni, who stand at the ready to welcome you as colleagues. As you enter their hospitals and new residents, they are there to ensure that that door is open. But if you keep walking, you'll see something even more exciting and important. Your passion, your dedication, and your commitment fulfilled. You are following your calling to become great clinicians, physicians, doctors. You have agreed to do no harm and to care and to deliver quality care for human kindness, through human kindness. But as well as this institution has prepared you, there are enormous challenges that we face on the other side of the door in this country and around the world. There are hundreds of communities that eagerly await the day that they can welcome you as the newest physicians to their community. They are opening the doors because they need you. Some are rural communities where the nearest hospital might be 30 miles away with no transportation to get there. Urban communities where clinics may be in close proximity but impossible to see without losing a day of pay. Suburban hospitals, suburban communities where people may never, ever see a healthcare provider who looks like them or treats them with the dignity that every person deserves. I know from your work here at the Morehouse School of Medicine that you understand these challenges very, very well. You likely even came to medical school because you had a dream. And that dream was that you wanted to impact society, impact the health status of communities. Some of your dreams are of returning back to your communities, your towns, so that you could help change healthcare as you know it, as you left that community. I know what it's like to have those feelings because I am a dreamer. Everything that I've done in my life, it's only because I dreamed big. And I never, ever stepped away from those dreams. My childhood, like many of you that I've learned from Dr. Montgomery Rice, has not been without its challenges. But you sit here today. I ask that you just reflect for a moment that you sit here today. And I know that there have been moments where you may have pondered, will I sit here today? But from your families, from this faculty, from all of us, we are so proud that you are here today. Let us never forget that the path that you have chosen is one of great need. I never saw my first doctor or nurse until I was in like junior high school, moving out of junior high school to go into high school. And it was only because of a sports physical. In my community, there was no healthcare infrastructure. But you sit here today to help ensure that others will not share that experience. just like so many that have gone before you. You are here because you have committed yourself, you dedicated, you've sacrificed, and you have proven against all odds that this calling is something that you have dreamed and you have made that dream a reality. Education is a powerful, powerful therapeutic. I studied a lot because it was the only way to get out of my community. But where I grew up, it wasn't cool to study, particularly for a male. But I refuse to let others define me. You have refused to let others define you. And that is why you sit here today. So that's why I wanted to be here, and I'm humbled to be here with you today, to tell you that just as important as it may be to work hard and reach your challenging goals, never, ever stop dreaming. And don't miss out on the beauty in the magical moments that happened while you were on this campus, but the magical moments ahead of you. You are the future of healthcare in this country, and you are ready. Life isn't perfect, but with a striving of perfection in what you do, this country will be equipped to address its challenges. So I close with the following. Every one of you have seen and heard and read and studied about what President Rice mentioned, health disparities. We will never, ever effectively address those unless we have physicians and clinicians who look like those they serve. And in our country, there is a huge delta between the most vulnerable and needy communities and an adequate amount of physicians, particularly in communities of color, particularly in African American, Latino, and other communities. So your time in medical school, I hope, has been fun for you. It marks a turning point for you and for our nation and for all of healthcare. And we know that you are equipped and are prepared to address the challenges ahead. There is no greater calling professionally than you have now agreed to address. And as I think about your future, and as I think about the opportunities that you will have, you are at the right place at the right time in this country. This faculty has invested deeply in you. Your parents have invested deeply in you. Your friends have supported you with moral support. So I want to end by saying, together, Common Spirit Health in the Morehouse School of Medicine are prepared and are architecturally ready and have already begun to open doors for hundreds of medical students and residents in hospitals across this nation. The More in Common Alliance is addressing the underlying causes of those health inequities, including the lack of representation of providers of color. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have done, but most importantly, all that you will do. The extraordinary and resilient Harry Tubman said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." I look in your eyes, and you are the class of 2022 dreamers. May God bless you. I wish you the best of luck. To your parents and to your friends, to faculty and staff of this humbling and great institution. You have done well. So go out now, use these skills, the talent that you have developed. And as my mother said to me when I left being the first person from my community to ever go to college, like at least 70% of you, I ask you to do one thing, to say thank you to your parents, your friends, and this faculty. I ask you to go and do good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Let's give our keynote speaker another round of applause. Would Chairman Collins and Executive Vice President for Health Affairs and Dean Dr. Joseph Tyndall please join me as we confer the honorary degree to Mr. Lloyd Dean. Mr. Dean, please.
It's very special here.
For your leadership in the field of healthcare, for your dedication to mental and physical health, and for your advocacy in ensuring health equity for all Americans. Morehouse School of Medicine is proud to confer the degree of Doctor of Science. As a symbol of this honor, I direct you to be vested in the hood emblematic of the degree and we present to you, Dean Tyndall, this diploma.
To everyone associated with the Morehouse School of Medicine, all of the faculty, the board members, and all of the staff, I want to just say, without getting too emotional, I have tears in my eyes. I didn't have the opportunity to go to a historical black college when I was growing up, but I read about them. And when Dr. Martin Luther King spoke about the Morehouse School and this amazing campus, I always wished that I would someday be able to stand here in any capacity. So I am deeply, deeply touched by this degree, humbled by it, and my commitment to you is that I will continue as long as there's a breath in my body to try to do good, to try to represent a voice for the voiceless and the poor and the most vulnerable, and to be, I guess now I can call myself an alumni of the Morehouse School of Medicine. May God bless you, and thank you so much.
It's my distinct honor to bring to the podium Morehouse School of Medicine's Executive Vice President in Health Affairs and Dean, Dr. Joseph Adrian Tyndall.
Well, good morning. You know I'm going to need more energy than that because you know why I'm standing here. Madam President, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Board of Trustees, holder of our newest honorary degree, Mr. Lloyd Dean, and thank you so much for your words. Distinguished platform guests, alumni, faculty, administrators, family, friends, and loved ones. The time has now come for us to honor our students in the conferral of degrees. And I know that for all of you, this has been a journey of sacrifice, of triumph. And all of you are here to bear witness to the accomplishments of 155 new graduates from the Morehouse School of Medicine. So we know that your journey was not easy, but in the end, you prevailed. And you are now joining the ranks of Morehouse School of Medicine alumni to continue the indomitable task of leading the creation and advancement of health equity everywhere. And to say that we're proud of you is an understatement. We're excited. We can hardly wait. I know you can't wait to get the degrees you so richly deserve. But first, I want to say thank you. And I always say this because in the end, you made a choice to join us in this journey in your career. And I want to thank you for taking this journey with us. We've learned from each other along the way, and because of all of this, we are better. You are better. And the world is better because the world needs what? What we do best. The world needs what we do best. And now, for the moment we've been waiting for, please prepare to honor our students. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now confer upon the candidates the degrees of Master of Public Health, Executive Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Biomedical Research, Master of Science in Biotechnology, Master of Science in Clinical Research, Master of Science in Medical Sciences, Master of Science in Neuroscience, Doctor of Philosophy in Biomedical Sciences, and Doctor of Medicine. Will the candidates for the Master of Public Health degree please rise? Madam President, I have the honor of presenting the students who have completed a rigorous program of public health studies, fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges and the Council of Public Health Education. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that these students receive the degree Master of Public Health.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Master of Public Health with all the rights and privileges and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and your hood.
Alexis Jasmine Bell. Morgan A. Burrell. Tony Sage Carson. Priyanka Manibai Chaudhary. Morgan Venice Davis. Rashira D. Dobson. Jalen Alexis Ford Benjamin. Tyler Louise Harrison. Brianna Holliday. Daryl A.L. Howard II. Angel Huerta. Amanda U. Iwogo. Mama Conta. Malik Derek Matthews. Nakia Rayhan Melvin. Javez James Mitchell. Jordan Brianna Sanders. Gabrielle Marie Spurlock. Kiana Whiteese Strickland. Amber Sylvain. Caleb Sadiq Whitfield. Brianna Louise Wicks. Devin Breon Davis.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Executive Master of Public Health degree please rise? Okay. Will the new graduates from the MPH class please rise? And now you may move your tassels to the left side. Congratulations. But now you're not done, because since I've also been so honored to have an MPH degree, I get to recite the International Declaration of Health with you. So if you can please go to the page 19 of your program, and I actually invite all public health professionals to please join us in reciting the International Declaration of Health. Health requires peaceful and equitable development and collaboration of all peoples. The enjoyment of the highest attainable standard of health is one of the fundamental rights of every human being. It is not a privilege for those with power, money, or social standing. Health is more than the absence of disease, but includes prevention of illness, development of individual potential, a positive sense of physical, mental, and social well-being. Health care should be based on dialogue and collaboration between citizens, professionals, communities, and policymakers. Health service should be affordable, accessible, effective, efficient, and convenient. Health begins with healthy development of the child and a positive family environment. Health must be sustained by the active role of men and women in health and development. The role of women and their welfare must be recognized and addressed. Health care for the elderly should preserve dignity, respect, and concern for a sustainable environment with balanced human populations, growth, and preservation of cultural diversity. Health depends on availability to people of basic elements: food, safe water, housing, education, productive employment, protection from pollution, and prevention of social alienation. Health depends on protection from exploitation without distinction of race, religion, political belief, economic, or social condition. We, as people concerned about health improvement in the world, do hereby commit ourselves to advocacy and action to promote the health rights of all human beings. Congratulations, and please be seated. Will the candidate for the Master of Science in Biomedical Research degree please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you the student who has completed a rigorous program of biomedical research studies, fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that this student receive the degree, Master of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science in Biomedical Research with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and your hood.
Jennifer Noel Jones.
Congratulations, and don't be seated quite yet. Will the Master of Science of Biomedical Research graduate please stand? You may now move your tassel to the left side. Congratulations, and you may be seated. Will the candidates for the Master of Clinical Science and Clinical Research degree please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you these students who have completed a rigorous program of clinical research studies fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that these students receive the degree Master of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty to the School of Medicine and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science in Clinical Research with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and hood.
Taylor Sherelle Lawson. Dr. Olayinka Omitola Adebayo. Dr. Kali A. Smith.
So Master of Science and Clinical Research graduates, if you could please remain standing. And you may now move your tassels to your left. And congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Medical Sciences please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you these students who have completed a rigorous program of medical science studies fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that these students receive the degree Master of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science in Medical Sciences with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and hood.
Aminat Enemashan. Blake Archer. Jasmine Amelia Baylor. Ashley Siobhan Ayame Carter. Lindsay J. Clark. Yakia Denise Clark. Naomi Renee Coles. Peter During. Jenabu Diallo. Peyton Desiree Forbes. Erica Elizabeth Lee Humphrey. Samsudeen Ushoman Iyama. Michaela Angel Jarrell. Tamia Beatrice Lewis. Sydney Alexis Mitchell. Ayana Kalima Mohammed. Tyra Destiny Mussington. Otis Kofi Oklu. Ikena Okoro. Michael Ni Opari Adu. Ernest Tabiri Ocheri. Lindsay Janae Paul. Austin Daniel Rich. Rashida Melinda Richards. Burlinson St. Julian. Simone Lachey Salter. Edgar Leonard Scott IV. Eartha Cedrine Seifu Amba. Mackenzie Nicole Wall. Mary Janelle Womack.
Master of Science and Medical Sciences graduates, please remain standing. Move your tassels to the left. And congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Neuroscience degree please stand? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you the students who have completed a rigorous program of neuroscience studies fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that these students receive the degree Master of Science.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine, and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Master of Science in Neuroscience with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and your hood.
Hamadi Charles Stewart Brewer. Shayla Wren Janice Deering. Tiana M. Hill. Tamia Shantae Manning. Kaylor Olivia Mondesi. Imani Faye Roberts. Jania Stephanie Yates.
Okay. So Master of Science in Neuroscience graduates, please remain standing. And you now may move your tassels to the left. Congratulations, you may be seated. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy and Biomedical Science degree please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you these students who have completed a rigorous program of biomedical science studies, fully accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. The Board of Trustees and the faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that these students receive the degree, Doctor of Philosophy.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree, Doctor of Philosophy, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and your hood.
Dr. Olayinka Adebayo. Dr. Jasmine Nicole George. Dr. Shakayla Quintel Nunez.
So new Doctor of Philosophy graduates, if you may, please remain standing. And it's now time to move your tassels to the left. Congratulations. Dr. Eatman Daniels, if you can please join me.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Danita Eatman Daniels, Assistant Dean of Graduate Education and Biomedical Sciences. All Master of Science in Biomedical Research, Master of Science in Clinical Research, Master of Science in Medical Sciences, Master of Science in Neuroscience, and the Doctor of Philosophy and Biomedical Sciences graduates, please rise. Come on now, y'all can move faster. We will now recite the Scientist Pledge. You will find it on page 20 of your program. Other scientists in the audience are welcome to join in. I accept this opportunity to follow the difficult and rewarding path of biomedical science and clinical research. I will endeavor to honor all those who have contributed to this opportunity by always working to the utmost of my abilities and by increasing those abilities when possible. I will strive to advance fundamental knowledge about all living things. I pledge to use my energy, intellect, and education to enhance the lives of all mankind, understanding that often the greatest strides are made through efforts to assist the dispossessed and underprivileged in our world. I will carefully consider and remain mindful of the ethical implications of my work. I will never use my gifts and skills to intentionally harm any individual or group. In planning and carrying out my work, I will treat this planet and all its life forms with honor and respect. I will honor and respect the efforts of my teachers, taking great care always to give credit where credit is due, and always humbly understanding that all that I see by standing on the shoulders of the many scientists who have gone before me. I will also honor and respect my students and all who rely on that which I have learned, striving to truthfully and openly disclose all my methods, findings, and conclusions. So long as I adhere to this pledge, may I have continued success in the field of biomedical sciences and clinical research. Congratulations.
We're getting there, but we're not done yet. Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine please rise? Madam President, I have the honor to present to you these students. They have completed a rigorous program of medical studies, fully accredited by the Liaison Committee on Medical Education. The Board of Trustees and faculty of Morehouse School of Medicine recommend that they receive the degree Doctor of Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Medicine with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Please come forth to receive your diploma and your hood.
Zainab Oluwatosin Agbula. Chooks Ayusebe. Ryan Alivi. William Henry Anderson. Chantrice Sierra Appleby. Manuel Arzube. Miles Austin Atkins. Victoria S. Barnes. China Savannah Beck. Olivier Bourguignon. Nikia Brown. Stephen A. Buckridge. Alexandra Gabrielle Caldwell. Dominic Charles Kennedy. Kapil Chandora.
Let's go!
Chelsea Andrea Cleveland. Chance Alexander Crossland. Rayana Akia Cyprian. Dominique Andrea Davis. Tyler Dempsey. Jessica DeRazier. Linda Chiniello Ebosiba. Miriam Elfa Kahaney. Brianna Renee English. Lorianne J. Foster. Dr. Miles Dexter Freeman. Otis A. Green. Samhita Goodla. Henry Guo. Kristen D. Hagler. Marshawn Omari Hall. Kadar Abdi Haroon. Sammy Khalid Hudayeb. Keontae James Thorpe. Amelia Jaya Chandiran. Christine Kaba. Catherine Margaret Keck. Jocelyn Keller. Annika Kelly. Kendall Julian Kennedy. Esther Weswamo Quara. Sotivan Lan. Don B. Mabra. Sana Malik. Nima Mansuri. Lydia Whitney McBee. Christiana Brianna McLarty. Karthik Mehta. Brock Meeker. Prince S. Morkay. Robert Wynn. Suna Miriam Jai. Benjamin Wadike Jr. Chinadu Nweke. Samed Obing. Olivia Abere Agba. Maxwell Olumide Okonola. John Wokedi Oyekaba. Katie Marie Piegler. Darlington DeGraft Poby. Gabrielle Nicole Rivers. Nikolai Samuels. Drew Lewis Sanders.
Oh, two.
Kirsten Michelle Schofield. Neil Sanjay Shukla. Ashani Jermaine Sybil. Patrick Nicholas Simpson Mahan. Jacob Christopher Sloan. Darius Jalil Stevens. Joshua P. Stevens. Shanna Lee Melissa Stevens. Amir Muhammad Taba. Chidinma Okadike. Romani Hani Waba. Sarah J. Wesley. Taylor Janae Williams Hamilton. Cedric B. Wyndham II. Nina Naomi Wyatt. Matthew Burnett Young. Nejdat Maiz Zobi.
So, Doctor of Medicine candidates, please remain standing. Audience, wait for it, wait for it. Almost there. You can hold your tassels and move it to the left. Congratulations. So Dr. Elks, if you could please join me.
I ask the MD students to remain standing, welcome doctors, and turn to page 21 of your programs, and we will read together the Hippocratic Oath. We have gone through many oaths together in our process. I solemnly swear that as a graduate of Morehouse School of Medicine, according to my ability and judgment, I will keep the following oath. I will consider dear to me those who have taught me this art and will teach the art to all those who qualify as students. I will follow that method of treatment which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients and will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. I will preserve the purity of my life and art. In every house where I come, I will enter only for the good of my patients, keeping myself from all intentional ill-doing and seduction. All that may come to my knowledge in the exercise of my profession, which ought not to be spread about, I will keep secret and will never reveal. If I keep this oath faithfully, may I enjoy my life and practice my art, respected by all people and in all times. But if I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Congratulations, class of 2022. Dr. Rice, Dean Tyndall, trustees, families, friends, my fellow alumni, and my new alumni. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Dr. Rose Blackburn, Morehouse School of Medicine, MD program class of 1992, and I'm president of the Morehouse School of Medicine National Alumni Association. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I bring greetings to all present and congratulate you again. Thanks so much to the family and friends that are joining us today in this exciting celebration. Today, in addition to celebrating your special day, I'm celebrating my 30th anniversary from graduating from the Morehouse School of Medicine. I remember it almost like it was yesterday, a beautiful May morning. I had about 25 folks from my family and friends that came out. Yes, we were that family, just like you all. But never did it occur to me that I would be back 30 years later to celebrate you as the president of the Alumni Association. I had a phenomenal educational experience here at Morehouse. Many different aspects of medicine. There was so much I didn't know. But I did know why I was here. I knew why I was heading back to New York to start my residency program in OBGYN. I had wonderful mentors like Dr. Rice, like Dr. Gary, role models like Dr. Camille Davis-Williams. I knew I wanted to be on the front line, and I wanted to take care of patients. I didn't know that I'd finish residency with the program's highest award, that I'd practice in Washington, D.C., and that 17 years ago, I transitioned to a career in the pharmaceutical industry and lead global teams of physicians in drug development. I didn't know I'd be a vice president in a multinational company with over 100,000 employees, where I've led the awareness and expansion and capabilities to increase participation and inclusion of diverse populations in clinical trials. I didn't know I'd talk to dozens of organizations about COVID and address concerns about vaccine hesitancy. I didn't know it then, but I did know that my years of Morehouse School of Medicine prepared me to live my why in my unique way. I wanted to and still want to make that difference and make an impact to address health disparities and improve the social determinants of health. I wanted to make sure now that clinical trial drugs, vaccines, and devices are tested in all populations and that they are safe and effective for those that need treatment. That's me. So today I ask you to remember your why. Why does your specialty that you matched in, why'd you pick it? Why did you pick your dissertation and thesis topic? Why public health today? Why start and finish a brand new PA program? Why are 19 of you staying here to do your residency program here at Morehouse School of Medicine? Why are you signing up for a postdoc or going to the Department of Health or the CDC? Well, here it is. We've said it before. The world needs what we and what you will do best. COVID is probably one of the best examples of never wasting a crisis. For us, health disparities, health equity, comorbidity, diversity, serving the underserved, they're new to a lot of people over the last 2 years, but these are not new concepts for us here. Morehouse has been in the forefront of this, and these are the reasons why, as you've learned, that the school was founded here in Georgia. So you'll be going to programs and situations where health equity and cultural competence are not their why and are not a deeply rooted value and purpose. So you will be the voice of the vulnerable. You will protect the public's health in communities that don't know you and that you don't know. You will follow the science with precision and integrity because you studied and made the science with precision and integrity. Your scientific precision and integrity and commitment to research to benefit those will improve the health of people you will never know. You will treat the whole person, not just a patient, someone's grandma, someone's abuela, someone's daddy-ma, jida, zumu. You've probably been asked a lot of questions about why you picked what you picked and what's driven you this far. So keep your reasons close to you, because it may elude you after a long day in a lab, after a hectic ER shift or a night in labor and delivery, when you've been deployed for weeks on the front lines of a pandemic or a disaster. Remember your mission in the way that only you can connect with a patient or solve a problem in an innovative way. It's my job today to induct you into the Morehouse School of Medicine Alumni Association. And with that, we want you to support the Morehouse School of Medicine, verbally, financially, and by giving of your time and talents. Challenge each other when you come back on class day to outgive each other, to see who has the most mentees. Continue to build on the tradition of giving and support our institution, which in turn inspires others to give and invest in Morehouse. This is an investment not only in Georgia, but the future of health in the nation and in the world. So if you will stand with me, and all alumni, please stand with me as you get one more oath. So please stand and repeat after me the following alumni pledge. I, and put your name in, hereby accept membership in the Morehouse School of Medicine National Alumni Association. As a graduate, I promise to maintain active membership in the Alumni Association and support the association and the Morehouse School of Medicine to the best of my ability. Good. Congratulations and welcome to the Morehouse School of Medicine National Alumni Association. Thank you, and you may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Blackburn. And thank you to the National Alumni Association. To the class of 2022, discovery, knowledge, and high-quality patient care and community service are but a few of the gifts professional schools such as Morehouse School of Medicine give to the larger society. Really, our grandest gifts to the world are the students that we educate and train. It's you, the class of 2022. You now join those of us who are privileged to practice medicine, those who will continue the art of discovery and caring, those who will serve the public in more ways than one. It is truly a privilege and honor to serve others through the healing arts and through the quest for knowledge through discovery by addressing socioeconomic factors which impact the underserved and provide them the ability to reach their optimal level of health. But with your graduation comes responsibility. The responsibility to engage each person in front of you and think, based on who's sitting in front of me, what's possible. Looking at them with no limitations as you listen to their story. For you see, your story serves as the foundation for how you will embrace their story. Those connected stories are how we advance primary care to serve the underserved and to partner with the community to improve health opportunities and outcomes. With your story grounded in this mission, your mission, you are destined to make significant contributions. You must not shy away from your experiences, your challenges, your joys, and your tears. During each commencement week, I pick a song to listen to every morning of that week. My song this week was by John P. Key, You Don't Know My Story. People don't know your story. You have to tell it. That story gives you the foundation to listen with humility, with grace, to extend kindness, when otherwise that person sitting in front of you may not have known that that was possible for them. You see, on this path to becoming a scientist, you got to have grit and resilience to perform many sequences of experiments. And I know those with those master's and PhD degrees understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes the sequences must be repeated to establish a working protocol, and that requires great focus and patience. And when you're sitting in front of that patient who's coming in with those vague stories that are not adding up, reach back into your story and see if you can connect the dots. We want to make sure that we are all able to carry on and support the memory of those that walk ahead of us, because they are creating a path of greatness. Great for ourselves, greatness for others, and the great things that are yet to happen. It is in those moments when you are reflecting upon the significance of health equity that you will begin to understand that there's a difference between knowledge and learning. Remember that gaining knowledge is what you have accomplished by attending Morehouse School of Medicine, but the learning comes from the testing of that knowledge gained. Graduates, you will begin to understand how to extend your medical and scientific and public health knowledge to assist your patients and the communities in realizing their optimal level of health. as you partner with them based on their unique circumstances. You will begin a pathway that transitions to health equity. What we are very confident is that we have prepared you to answer those callings. So as you begin this next phase, I charge you with the following. Align your personal identity with a vision that you have for others first and then for yourself. What do I mean by this? I have a vision that health equity is achievable, that we can assist everyone with achieving their optimal level of health by providing them what they need, when they need it, and the amount they need to achieve health. But what I know that is, in order to ensure that I am working toward this goal with them and keeping in line with the vision, I have to ask those questions when I'm confronted with those persons, based on who's sitting in front of me, what's possible. Secondly, I have to constantly seek new knowledge because information is changing. I have to seek excellence and let my work be reflective of my character. You have to do the same because you are not just representing yourself. You're representing your profession and this alma mater. Third, never lose sight of your purpose. Make sure that you continue to seek guidance from trusted advisors and wise peers. Listen to your higher self and your higher call and be a great professional, but be an even better person. Love deeply, laugh heartily, and pray often, because each of those offers the gift of health and happiness. Find the balance if it really exists. Support your alma mater, for it is so profoundly changed your life. Leave a good legacy, and make sure that the lives you touch and the places you serve are better because of you. Remain humble, for you will have many answers, but certainly not all of them. Be of service to others. You are not the center of the universe, but a servant of it. And when you enter into a room, don't say, "Here I am." Say, "How can I help you?" And finally, remember to take care of yourself. Exercise, eat healthier, read, listen to music, dance, and like I used to say, laugh at least 5 times a day. About 2 of those you'll get at work, okay? About 2 of those you'll get to laugh at work. Another one will be with friends. Another one may be with your significant other. Then some days you will run short. So when you get home, look in the mirror, because I'm sure you have done something that day that's worthy of a laugh. And finally, remember this. When health is absent, wisdom cannot reveal itself. Art cannot manifest. Strength cannot fight, and wealth becomes useless. Graduates of the class of 2022, you have successfully earned a place in the global community and among those of the healing arts and sciences. Go with God, and may you and your families be richly blessed. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join the Morehouse College Glee Club as they sing Morehouse School of Medicine's alma mater, Soar. The song is printed on pages 33 and 34 in your program. Following the alma mater, please remain standing as Reverend Crawford delivers the benediction.
the words of Isaiah the prophet, whom shall I send to close the healthcare equity gap? Who shall go for us? And I said, here am I, send me. Let us pray. Now unto you, O God, who calls us to go to the nations, to bring good news of healing and wholeness. You, O God, who calls us to the question, who shall I send? Who shall I send to the ghettos and the barrios to prevent diseases and give hope? Who shall I send to assure newborn babies and mothers can have the best of health care, regardless of their income, regardless of their station or location in life? Whom shall I send to give an alternative to violence? Who shall I send to economically challenged communities to take down the political and social barriers to health? Who shall I send to have some young man to know a young woman to know that they have a reason to survive, and the old feel that they have a season to continue to thrive? Who shall I send to create healthcare equity for all of your people? We thank you, God, on this day. Every degree received and every soul that has been encouraged can go out to turn the world upside down, and they can answer that question, here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Here am I, a master's recipient. Send me to change healthcare policies. Send me to research and invent and teach. Here am I, a PhD. Send me to research and administrate and teach till healthcare equity become a reality. Here am I, an MD. Send me to learn to be the comfort, the compassion, the healer, that all your people can have somebody who will love and care for them. Here am I, one of your created. Send me now, God, to help the weak, to hear the unheard, to hold the hurting, and to heal the broken. And now, God, as we step down from this place, we ask you, oh God, that as we go along the way, that you will be in our feet to guide us in the pathway of the good, that you will be in our hands that we may do the good, that you will be in our ears that we may hear the good, that you will be in our tongues that we may speak the good. And by all means, God, be in our heart that we may love the good. And when we come down to the end of our day, after we have answered the question and fulfilled your mission, and we have done your purpose, may we hear your voice in the song of our ancestors saying, I done what you told me to do. Amen and amen. Now we receive Dr. Power.
A special thank you to our keynote speaker and honorary degree recipient, Mr. Lloyd, all of our distinguished platform guests, trustees, alumni, faculty, staff, and students for your individual and collective participation in today's celebration. And now we ask the audience to remain seated until the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates have completely recessed. Thank you for joining us in this academic celebration.